The purpose of this video is to walk users through NOTCF's mid-level grant application process on the Submittable website. Before starting this grant application, applicants are encouraged to read the instructions thoroughly as they go through each section. At the top of the page, applicants are required to enter in their contact information under Applicant Key Contact. This includes first and last name, their title, a complete address along with city, state, and zip code. Applicants must also enter in their email address and phone number with area code. Under Applicant Organization, applicants must again address these fields that include the organization's name and complete address, an email address, a valid phone number with area code, a website, as well as the organization type. NOTCF requires additional documentation from organizations requesting funding, and applicants must have these documents on hand to complete the grant application process. This can include articles of incorporation or articles of organization, IRS letter establishing or verifying your organization's EIN, a New Orleans occupational license, a completed W-9 form, the mission or purpose of the organization, and any information about the fiscal agent organization if one is being used. Be mindful of the information that is required for the fiscal agent in this section of the grant application. Under Proposed Program, applicants must provide information about the program name, the target audience, program dates, the venue where the program will be held, a description of the program, and the amount of funding that is being requested. Applicants need to also provide a list of core program staff or team members in the grant application. Next, applicants should be prepared to answer several questions about the cultural and economic impact of their program, as well as the organization's plan to sustain themselves beyond the grant application process. Both fields are limited to just 250 words. Applicants are encouraged to be detailed yet brief in their responses. The cultural groups directly contributed to the proposed program should be addressed, and if the program will benefit the local youth, these fields are required to be addressed as well. In the next section of the grant application process, applicants should provide as many examples as possible of previous cultural programming produced by the applicant organization and/or the key contact. This can include the name of the project, the lead production organization, and the relationship if it is not the same as the applicant organization, a brief description of the program, the previous program dates, the target audience, the number of participants, as well as a description of the participants. Lastly, be sure to describe any successes or challenges from the program. If there are additional events that were previously held, enter in that information into the remaining example fields. Applicants should be prepared to address whether they've previously requested funding from NOTCF. If yes has been selected on the application, applicants must provide additional documentation with their application. Documentation will include a performance report from the previous programming event with details about the event, the program dates, the amount funded, and the funding source or a reference note. Be sure all appropriate information is included. Applicants will also need to submit a full itemized budget of the proposed programming event or activity for this application. The application also requires a detailed description of items with budgeted amounts for the activities or services NOTCF's funding will be used towards. The community impact is another essential area of the grant application process. Applicants will need to address how their event will not only have a positive impact on the city of New Orleans, but how it will contribute to the cultural groups listed earlier in the application process. Applicants should also be able to explain how the event will target diverse populations in the area, including Black and ethnic groups, young people, low income, LGBTQ, and the elderly. Be sure to address how the event will bring people together for the purpose of improving or developing the community. In addition to the community engagement, applicants will need to address the sustainability of their organization. This includes an explanation of the current management structure of the organization, describing the management framework, providing an overview of any existing challenges or barriers the organization may potentially face, how you, as the applicant, intend to monitor and evaluate the event, and how promoting the event will take place. Be mindful that each of the questions in the grant application process have a maximum count of 250 words. Under the finance section, applicants should address whether they are a first-time applicant. If the answer is yes, an additional question will appear asking applicants if their organization has secured funding from other organizations or through fundraising. Be sure to provide documentation if additional funding has been secured or proposed for the program event. Applicants will also need to address if there is a process in place to measure the economic impact of their program in the city of New Orleans, and if it is intended to collect reports from other vendors, businesses in the area once the event is complete. The final section of this grant application, applicants must thoroughly review the license of intellectual property. Applicants must also check off that they are willing to submit images from the proposed event as well as a performance report to NOTCF within 30 days. Prior to submitting the application, applicants are encouraged to read through the application thoroughly before checking the final box. Please make sure that all required fields have been appropriately addressed. Any materials that are left off the grant application will be disqualified until the next grant submission period. Once everything is complete, select Submit.